Shalom. Kahala Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Waha, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, great millstone. Peace and blessings to you, Aki, and pushing this word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. This is Amathia from GMS Dallas. I wanted to go into a quick lesson. Lord willing, this will be edifying to the elect of Israel. I have a few videos here that I wanted to show. And as we seeing today, all these different, what they call it, they would say they're drones, they're saying they're UFOs. Now we have what UAP, which stands for unidentified anomalous phenomenon. I'm saying, so now we're seeing all these things that are happening in the sky. And we're knowing that the Lord is setting these things up for his return, for things to happen in prophecy. Okay. We know Esau's going to have his things where he's going to be setting up. We see drones and different things like that, but it was just a video showing a bright orb that actually brought a drone down. They said it shot it down, but it seemed like it was glowing and a light flashed out, and that's, the drone was coming down. So all these things are in the sky. It's not just happening here in Babylon the Great, aka America. It's happening all over the world. They saw some in Canada and in other countries as well. So we just have to, through being prophets, men of the Lord, what we do is we are watchmen and we call these things out and we report it. Now, we know that the Lord is starting to visit the earth and we knowing these things that are happening. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit, bring out some scriptures. Lord willing, this will be edifying.
Y'all, these strange drone UFOs that were being seen over New Jersey are now being seen over the Capitol. That's right. They've moved on from Jersey. We're seeing them in Maine. We're seeing them in Pennsylvania. We're seeing them in Connecticut. And now they're being seen over the Capitol. Now, the Capitol video that I show you, I think, is incredible. Not just because you're seeing these strange UAP UFO drones over the Capitol, but the person recording is cognizant of the people that are concerned and confused, and of the people that are critical of this and saying they're just planes or commercial craft. So not only do they record these weird UAP over the Capitol, but they pan around and showcase the different things in the sky. Like, this is what an airplane looks like. This is what an airplane in the distance at a higher altitude looks like, because they're flying around. Versus this weird UFO, UAP thing. Drone, whatever they want to call them. Shape-shifting craft. It is over the Capitol, and this is insane.
I'm telling you, they're not moving. They're staying stationary. They're hovering.
They kind of look wide too.
Look at the lights changing.
But it is moving.
No, it's not.
It looks like it.
Yeah, but they're not moving. That's an airplane. Hang on.
Which one? The one closest to the Capitol building?
Hang on, let me zoom that a little bit. Yeah, that's an airplane.
But the one in the middle, that one.
That's an airplane. You can see it moving.
Yeah.
The one to the right. We're over here.
The one behind the Capitol building is not an airplane.
We're over here. That's an airplane. Okay.
Yeah, over there is. But look at
Yeah,
that one.
and I'm saying, like, when you look to the left of the Capitol,
That one.
those are not moving.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. They're here.
Can we go back in the car?
They're here, Ella.
So we've seen them over air bases. We've seen them over sensitive areas, nuclear power plants, over civilian houses, and now over the Capitol. What's next? At what point is it too much? What are these things?
And what we're seeing, it could be drones, but just to the spirit, I don't think every last one are drones. Like you just seen a video recently that it shows like they mentioned Ezekiel wheel within a wheel. All right. You don't see drones like that that's looking like circular, got lights going around it that's going parallel and vertical within one another. All right. All these things that we're seeing, we're knowing that the Lord is starting to set things up for war. He's starting to see, we're seeing the signs and wonders on the earth, bro. And through the prophets been saying, hey, the end is near. All right. And they have the people starting to bug out, but you got a lot of Jake, they don't give a damn. Like Apostle Ricard say, Big Shirley, they're not paying attention to these things. But you know what? These things are about to happen. This is they trying to say it might be other countries bringing these drones out. You might say they're their own government. But then, like I say, you starting to see certain things with drones don't fly as high. You don't see drones disappearing after they're flying. Come on, all right. So we're going to take some of these things in the sky as we've been seeing even before Akim been seeing even before these things start appearing in abundance like this. Been seeing chariots throughout the sky. You know, just seen this chariot. What was that last week? The two just came and disappeared. We've been seeing these things. All right, and now they're starting to panic. This is Second Ezra 5 and verse 1. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying robe. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying robe. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Then I said unto me, Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off on the side according to it. All right. And then it was a news feed a few years ago where this guy would record showing on the screen, this big screen he had against his house. And he was recording, showing how all these things that was coming from this NASA feed were these different objects was coming towards looked like they were coming towards the earth. And as the object was coming, they was getting bigger and bigger. Then you start seeing objects, he was saying probably the size of the earth, not bigger. Then the news feed cut off, the NASA feed cut off. All right. So the Lord is setting things up. And you're gonna have, like I said, it could probably almost deceive the very elect, but we knowing these things that are progressing in the skies, we knowing that the Lord has chariots that are within these different things that Esau is putting out and these other nations are putting out upon the earth, in the skies, like he said, drones and other things. We don't know. It could be bringing forth to try to disguise the chariots of the Lord. Okay. But we know within Esau's deceitfulness, we know the Lord and the things the Lord is presenting to the earth is going to ultimately be revealed. So call Allah Yahweh Shemi Hashah for that. Okay. And we know the Lord said he's going to visit the earth. All right. This is Second Ezra 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest parts of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time where the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And who is the highest? Yahweh, meaning he is. That's the most high who the world ignorantly calls God, but don't give him the proper name, which is his name in Hebrew is Yahweh. All right. And who's going to be coming in their fathership when things really start getting going and World War III is popping off and the salvation is at hand, you're going to have Yahweh Shai, which is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. All right. So let's get this here.
How are you
extreme caution for heavy UAS movement on the base. Security forces is handling the situation.
David Cheek of Flemington says he's been seeing hovering orbs of light.
I can't describe it because I've never seen it before, so people think you're crazy. And it just sat there, and all of a sudden it just, like, you literally blink and it's gone.
And he was hoping to see National Grid working on some lines, and that is when he saw flashing red, blue, and white lights coming from the sky. This is some of the video that he sent us that you're seeing here. He said it spooked him, although Scott Kibbe did not realize what it was at first. He says the drone was moving in all sorts of directions. Both sheriffs for Albany County and Saratoga County say they've received numerous phone calls from residents about this as well.
I really was kind of not sure what I was doing and seeing, so I was even more skeptical. That's why I wanted to get video. I was very surprised. It was there for a lengthy period of time. I'd say that it was in that space for at least 45 minutes.
These three lights were in a sort of a triangle kind of formation, an odd looking thing, and I'm thinking that doesn't look like a plane. It started flying erratically.
Witnesses at first thinking it was aircraft heading to nearby Camp Pendleton.
You could hear them, and you couldn't hear this thing.
Angel says he's uneasy after seeing 5 zip over his head toward the Pacific Ocean.
You know, it's just kind of scary to think, like, who's watching, and the fact that we contacted the sheriffs. The Marietta PD commented on a post of mine. Nobody knows whose they are.
After a burst of drone activity lighting up the night skies above several states, including New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, and Ohio, too, now. Just the other night, over the weekend, we had one in Dayton above Wright Pat Air Force Base, believe it or not.
Officials have not confirmed if these sightings are linked to those that recently happened near the East Coast.
It is why isn't anybody talking? The regulations are clear. You don't fly in restricted airspace. I mean, there's not a drone operator out there that is that dumb.
Questions about mysterious drone sightings.
See? All right, this is because when the Lord finally is going to be seen and all eyes shall see him, things will come forth. All right, like I say, they keep saying drones, which you having a lot of drones out there. And like I say, but we knowing that overall the Lord is going to set up for his appearance. All right. And this is not going to stop. You're going to see a continuation of this. All right. Because we know the chariot of the Lord is many. Like I say, it's going to be drones out here. You see drones everywhere. But in amongst these drones, people will be seeing these lights and these things that are flying, what you call UAPs. You know, ultimately the Lord is going to be seen. And we know the Lord is, this is Isaiah 20, Psalm 68 and 17. It says, the chariots of Yahweh Shem Yahushai are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai and the holy place. So we know the Lord is amongst them. All right. And we know these things, as it says in Matthew 24, where he says, the trials of the earth is going to mourn when they see the coming of the clouds of the heavens. All right. The Lord is coming with great glory. And those glories going to be what? The chariots. Right. All these things are happening is the beginning of sorrow, as they say. And amongst the chariots, and amongst, like I say, drones and planes, and out amongst them we have chariots. Now we're starting to see what? Earthquakes in diverse places. Earthquakes are happening all over the world, but then look at here in Babylon the Great, we focus on that. We're seeing things happening here.
Is hit by a series of small earthquakes, a total of 7 in just one day. The strongest quake, a magnitude 3.0, was felt yesterday across parts of Tennessee, Arkansas, Missouri, and Kentucky. Tonight, WREG's Alex Coleman breaks down what the University of Memphis Earthquake Center is saying about so much seismic activity and whether it's paving the way for the long-awaited big one.
At the University of Memphis Center for Earthquake Research and Information, Dr. Kent Moran is busy keeping a close eye on recent quake activity on seismic maps.
This is normal seismicity. It just comes in bursts on occasion.
He's not just looking for the big one, but other quakes around the world and those shaking parts of the Mid-South.
We here at the Earthquake Center help to educate the public, educate the emergency services and everything to be prepared for such events, big or small.
In recent days, what's called a swarm of earthquakes rattled an area near the New Madrid fault line in Missouri. 7 earthquakes shook an area in a 9-hour span.
You've seen over the past few days, one was a magnitude 7 off the coast of Oregon, California, and we've had a spate of smaller earthquakes here of magnitudes below 2. Then the biggest of the 4 that we had recently was a magnitude 3.
Memphis lies adjacent to the New Madrid fault line, an area that includes Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, and Illinois.
Well, with any fault zone, you have to have concern because faults do generate earthquakes, and earthquakes at times can be bigger than what we've had.
In 1811 and early 1812, a series of powerful jolts believed to range between 7.0 and 7.77 in magnitude were felt within the New Madrid seismic zone. Some say they form Reelfoot Lake, even forcing the mighty Mississippi River to briefly flow backward.
Historically, we've not had a large damaging earthquake in this area since the 19th century. The last earthquake that was here near Memphis on the New Madrid zone itself was in 1976 at Mark Tree, Arkansas, which was magnitude 5.2. But we've had magnitude 4s and 5s outside the zone that have been felt in the Memphis area.
For Dr. Moran, he says whether preparing for smaller earthquakes or for the big one, the key is preparation and not to panic.
In terms of preparedness, treat earthquakes and seismic activity like you would treat a weather event. The same things you prepare for the weather.
And the things that are coming is going to be more earthquakes, bigger earthquakes. You know, it ain't going to be no preparation for that. Only the preparation you're going to have is having that faith in the Lord, and He's going to guide your path. Because you're going to have bigger earthquakes, you're going to have wars, famine, and also, like you say, eventually he's going to have what? Thermonuclear destruction is going to be at hand. All right? What manner of man will you be when these things come? All right? This is Luke 21. Okay? And I started verse 10. It said, then he said unto them, all right? He was speaking to the disciples, all right? And this is Yahushua speaking. Because in all red, after it says, then he said unto them, nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. We're seeing that happen as we speak. We're seeing that happen with all these UAPs that are showing upon the earth. All right. And like I said, it's not just here in Babylon the Great. It's happening all over the world with all these different unidentified flying objects. You know, they're saying drones, but some of these things are not drones. Okay. You're having these different wars. All right. Wars in the Ukraine and Russia still at it. All right. You have over there in Israel. Okay. Israel and the Palestinians. You have all these different countries that are at war, and it's getting added on to. Why? Because we got that third woe coming. All right. As it says in Revelation, I believe that's 11, third woe coming quickly. And we're already in WW3, but it's going to ramp up. Okay. That's where we get, like you say, the nations shall rise against nations, the kingdom against kingdom. We're seeing that. All right. They're joining hand in hand for combat. All right. And at the same time, Luke 21:11, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places. And we have great earthquakes that are happening, and it's going to get greater. What was that, a week or two ago? We had an earthquake that was off in the ocean close to California, which California felt it. And it was emergency because they said they was worried about what's it called, a tide maybe coming over. Okay. Tidal wave. They was worried about something. It may happen and come into the land of California. Why? Because that earthquake in those certain places inside the ocean, diverse places. All right. And look at this right here. 9 U.S. states hit by earthquakes at the same damn time. 5.3 earthquake strikes U.S. on Saturday night. One day ago. 7.3 earthquake reported 9 hours ago. That's Z100 New York. I don't have to pull it up. I'm just kind of pulling it up. You can look at it for yourselves. CBS News. Earthquake hits Vanuatu, reportedly killing or unaliving at least 6 people in the Pacific Island. All right. These things are happening today. Bro, 2025 is going to be, hey, I can't wait to hear what the Apostle Tahar is going to deem this upcoming year. And this year, 2024, all right, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, we're seeing that. All right. We're seeing that things are ramping up. And now 2025 is going to be lit. Yeah, it's going to be lit. All right. It says, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilence, and fearful sights, and great signs shall be there being from heaven. All right, you hear that? Fearful sights and great signs. And people are worried. The ones that are paying attention, all right, you got a lot of Edomites that's looking. Like I say, Jake don't look like that, but they're getting worried. Okay. They were talking about how Alex Jones, he's getting worried. You have Joe Rogan keep talking about it. All right. All these things. And like I say, fearful signs. I'm going to pull it up here. Okay. This is Strong's G5400.
Strong's G5400.
Fabitron. That which strikes terror. A terror. Fright. All right. So this is frightening to the world. Okay. And what did we just read in Zechariah 5? This is the curse that's that goes around the earth. All right. And it's gonna bring forth. That's why when things really hit and the Lord reveals itself, all right, after Babylon getting set up to be destroyed, you're gonna have the chariots that'll come forth, and you're gonna have all these people that's gonna band together and is gonna try to fight against the Lord. It says that in 2nd Ezra 13. They was so scared, but yes, there's fight. All right, because what? They're gonna see a fearful sight. That's really, and then it's gonna be plain, and they're gonna be afraid, but they're gonna fight. But the Lord is going to destroy them without even lifting up a hand. Okay, and like I said, the glory of the Lord is what the chariots. And see, we're talking about now. You're seeing these signs and wonders in the earth. Okay, we're seeing earthquakes in diverse places. We're seeing the wars and rumors of wars, and now, like I say, we're seeing famine. Look at this is what it says here: Global Outlook 2025 report.
Thank you very much, Esther. And I think you just said it. It's the overlay of conflicts which are increasing significantly over the last decade. It's the overlay of conflicts with climate change and more extreme weather conditions we're seeing. And then you add to that the economic shocks and the state of the world actually post-COVID. And that has put more and more people in what we call acute hunger in emergency conditions.
Rania, your report also says that 2025 is projected to have even more needs, humanitarian needs around the globe. What are the plans to mitigate this kind of crisis? This seems you already are projecting that there will be another crisis more than what we've seen this year.
It has unfortunately been a unrelenting trend over the last 4 years, this increase in need, and indeed we are quite concerned.
Oh, Slock, I'm gonna bring this back. Who is this? Who is this speaking? Oh, come on, don't be tripping on me. Rania Dagash Kamara, UN World Food Program Assistant Partnership and Innovation Executive Director. She's speaking there. All right. The United Nations World Food Program Assistant. She's telling you what's going on, what's coming down the pipe in 2025.
Are quite concerned, not just in the food security sector, but I'd argue the humanitarian needs overall are increasing significantly. For us, one of the things that has been critical is the food prices have doubled in 26 countries globally. So the high food inflation has pushed millions out of reach of being able to reach food.
See, and it's going to be a time where it's going to be hyperinflation is going to occur. We already have inflation that's been happening over the years, especially after the pandemic. Then you're going to have these wars that's going to continue. Wars bring about higher costs because you got to feed into the war. Okay, it's going to bring certain trade routes to be cut off. All these different tariffs, sanctions, all these things is going to be rampant. Okay, you're finna have the breaking of ties of different countries. A lot of America, they receive a lot of goods into the country. Okay, they're gonna not be receiving certain supplies. So you can see, usually they say in a store like a grocery store or something like that, they don't have over 3 days supply because a truck comes every once or twice every week, okay, to help bring more products, more supplies, more necessities to these different places, to these different stores. This is about to be cut off. 2 Ezra 15:5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And plagues, you got to think, the Rika virus, all right? You had the COVID to the 1 to the going on to the 9. All right. Bird flu, all these different things that have been coming upon you. When you go look at history, every 4 to 5 years, you will have some type of major event like that. Okay. That's going to be happening along with, and that can be plagues of the world. Okay. The Lord has said he's going to bring forth these plagues and things like what? Like he did Egypt before. And that was Egypt never rose back up to a power like that. And this time it's going to be a destruction that when everything is over with, the kingdom of heaven is going to be at hand. All right. Back in 2 Ezra 15:5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Why? Why is he bringing all this? Because verse 6, for wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, because Esau is the son of the wicked and he controls the whole earth. All right. Keep going. And their hurtful works are fulfilled. Thus will say the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. All right, and we're going to constantly complain because we're waiting for the day of the Lord, okay, which is at hand, looking for the divine intervention. This is 2 Ezra 16 and verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. All right, the beginning of evils. And what shall I do when these evils come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as a scourge for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. All right. So you're gonna have, like you say, the 2/3. You're gonna have a lot of the 2/3. You're gonna have these heathens. They're not going to turn from their wicked ways. Esau won't let go of his power, and all he knows is wickedness. Like I said, wherever he go, death and hell follows. All right. Revelation 6 goes into that. All right. That red horse. Now he's know his power slipping away, so he's gonna try to bring forth destruction and a lot of death, and he's gonna try to come up like a phoenix that come out the ashes. But we know and all this is orchestrated by the Lord, and we know the Lord is gonna come and bring him down. Okay. Which unrighteous dealing, riches gotten by deceit. This kingdom is going to be translated from one kingdom to another. And we're now seeing the downfall of Esau, Edom, Babylon the Great, and That's going to bring forth what? The Lord setting up a standard, setting up the kingdom of heaven. All right. So with that, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Waha, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles, the great millstone. Peace and blessings to Yakim pushing his word in truth and sincerity. Shalom.